on Speargun Hunter. Better lash that gear down good. We're heading 100 miles out of Ventura Harbor with world spearfishing record holder Dr. Terry Moss and expert spear fisherman Niels Larson for what may be the wildest dive spot in California, Cortez Bank.
When you get there, you'll see a kelp bed if the current's not up. And hopefully we'll see that kelp bed, and there are rivers of bait swim through there, white sea bass, yellowtail, tuna at the edge. Last year I saw two-striped marlin there. It's just a fantastic spot. It's a little bit foggy out here today, so we've got the radar running. The fog's good because that means the ocean's, it's calm. But the problem is you can smack into boats, so we've got the radar with a guard zone in front of us, watching where we're going. We're about 101 miles now from Cortez Bank, and we're indicating about 25 knots, so the calculator says 4 hours and 6 minutes. That's pretty cool to be one of the best dive spots in the world, 4 hours and 6 minutes. I can't wait to be there. So this is Cortez Bank buoy. This is a pretty typical day out here where it's blowing 20 knots, but we went already by the kelp. It's crystal clear. We're real excited. Kind of an interesting story about this buoy. A trip was out here last year, and the guys took off, and they didn't realize they left one of the divers behind. Made it all the way to San Clemente Island about 3 hours that way when they realized that they lost their buddy, so they came back, and he was perched on that bell buoy, which is the only land for 52 miles.
The anchor chain pays out into deep blue-green waters.
All right, let's go for it.
With over 47 years of freediving and blue water spearfishing experience, Dr. Terry Moss still exudes the enthusiasm of a teenager on every dive. And here in this ocean wilderness of Cortez Bank, he's right at home. Niels Larson will hunt for yellowtail first. He loads his spear gun. Below him, a school of Pacific barracuda glide gracefully by. Niels dives down, and it isn't long before a yellowtail, ghost-like at the edge of visibility, appears. And Niels makes an excellent shot. At this point, it should be easy. Just let the fish get a little tired and get a good hold on him. But Niels has company. This is a 300-pound California sea lion. Kind of like a seagoing dog on steroids. It seems to take a few spins by Niels to get acquainted. But it's here for a reason. It definitely wants a piece of Niels' yellowtail. The trick here is, how do you discourage an animal this big from doing what it wants to do in its own environment? No easy answer. And if it decided to bite, it could do serious damage. So Niels continues to work his way toward the boat and keep the fish as intact as he can. The closer Niels gets to the boat, the more determined the sea lion seems to become. But just as suddenly, it seems to become bored and jets off.
Beautiful. And it wasn't 10 seconds more, and this seal that we saw earlier today just started beating up on our fish. Niels, it almost got your arm.
Yeah, he came close a couple times. Got a little bit nervous, but kicking and pushing him away. And Hoping he wouldn't bite.
We had to deploy this current line. What that does is it gives us a safety. If we get blown too far down current, we can grab that line because we're 50 miles from shore. If we can't get back to the boat, that's it.
End up in Mexico somewhere.
I think what we should do is pack all this up and go into the shallow water where there's less current influence and see if we can get some fish there. And if we know there's tons of fish here, they'll be here all day, and we're killing ourselves fighting this current right now.
Yeah, I agree.
As they carefully pull anchor, the seas begin to pick up, and the wind is gusting to 25 knots. But these are normal conditions out here, and they still have a full day of diving ahead of them.
Okay, you about ready? Man, this is what Cortez Bank's all about. Beautiful, crystal clear water. The kelp bed is starting to come up a little bit now. We'll find white sea bass inside, and right along this edge here is where the yellowtail and the bonita are going to be running. So we're really looking forward to getting back into the water here.
California diving is special. Swimming through gently waving forests of giant kelp is one of the world's most beautiful experiences. These kelp beds support layers of life and provide concealment for numerous species of fish. Giant kelp also provides excellent concealment for the speargun hunter. And moving silently through these forests, you never know what will be around the next patch. It could be a bat ray searching for food. It isn't long before our team locates a school of yellowtail at the edge of the kelp. And Nils puts a solid shot on a fish. Nils is holding on to a float line. The spear shaft is attached to one end of the float line, and the other end is attached to a series of floats. This allows the freediver to fight a large, powerful fish from the surface. Nils keeps pressure on the yellowtail. He will need to keep the fish out of the kelp, where it could become seriously entangled. California yellowtail are truly pelagic or free-swimming species. They are closely related to the Pacific amberjack, and in some parts of the Pacific have been known to reach 8 feet long and weigh 100 pounds. But in California, they average about 20 to 30 pounds. And yellowtail over 50 pounds are actually rare.
This is a really nice shot. Look how that tip toggled for you. Very nice.
Yeah.
So you were trying to keep it out of the kelp there, huh?
Yeah, the shot was a little low on the other side here and didn't do too much damage to him, so he had a lot of energy still. And he was gunning for the kelp, and I was fighting hard to keep him out.
Yeah, you did a good job. You kept him out. Hey, Niels, nice work.